Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and we've got some big news when it comes to car pricing. Before we get into this video though, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So let's start things off by going over a few stats that come from Cox Automotive, and then we will dive into this whole car market situation because right now there's actually a lot of really interesting things happening that some of you watching this might not know about. So Cox Automotive estimates that after the sales month of April, we're going to have a year-over-year pacing change of about 15.9 million units, which is more than what we saw last year. And in terms of the whole sales year, but also April's pacing number last year. So that's an impressive improvement. So the overall car market in the new side of things is doing better this year, and we're still pacing to do better this year. So strength when it comes to volume. Like I've said in previous videos though, we're still smaller than what we were prior to the pandemic in terms of sales volume. But something that is better in the car market compared to what we had prior to the pandemic is going to be day supply inventory. So prior to the pandemic, it was right around that 100-day supply numbers. Less than that, it was in the 90s, but still close enough. We're in the 70s. We were over 80 days in terms of the supply number in the new car market, but now it's in the 70s, and it seems like it's continuing to trend downwards. And so this means that the car market is not, quote unquote, perfectly healthy, but it's actually healthier in certain ways compared to what we saw, again, prior to the pandemic, when the car market was seeing more cars being sold, but also more cars sitting on dealer lots. Now that's the new car side of things. We'll come back to it in a moment. I quickly want to just mention, with used cars, the pacing is still basically going to be around that 35 million unit range. We're still going to see a slight decline in used car sales. Don't really want to make a dedicated video to it because all you really need to know is that used cars are still hard to come by. There's not the 2-3-year-old trade-ins that we normally get. So there's just less inventory available. So there's less vehicles to be sold. People would be more than happy to buy vehicles if they can find them. They can't find them. And so that's just the situation there. Going back into the new car market, you might be wondering where these customers are coming from, because if you look at things economically here in the US, I'm not going to say that they're all doom and gloom, but inflation, it has cooled down quite a bit, but it's still relatively hot. And so the amount of money that people have is not as strong as what we saw over the last couple of years, right? Savings continues to decline pretty much every single month. At the same time that wages have increased, but they haven't increased by all that much. And so people have less money in their bank account and they're not really making all that much more money. So how the heck are they buying these brand new flashy vehicles? And the first part is going to be on the EV side of things. Now, EV sales have seen a huge decline, 15% year over year, with the whole EV market. Tesla's down by about 10%. However, we still have those adjusted prices from last year where we had huge discounts on EVs, and that has helped increase the overall size of the EV market. Even though there's going to be fewer EVs sold this year, the overall market's bigger. So that helps with, creating some sort of like base within the car market to increase the overall volume. The next thing is going to be old cars. And what I mean by old cars are 2022s, 2023s, and some 24s, because even though we're in the 24 model year, there are certain 24s that are kind of getting old age inventory on dealers. But these old cars, especially the 2023s, are seeing some insane manufacturer incentives, right? Because the manufacturers, they sell to the dealers outside of, Tesla and Rivian and all that. And so because they sell to the dealers, well, they have to release discounts if dealers have too much of a particular model in inventory, because the dealers won't buy more cars from the manufacturers if they have cars that they cannot sell, right? So with that, huge discounts. And I think this is driving a lot of traffic because there's a huge set of buyers here in the US market that don't really care about the long-term resale of their vehicle, right? They're not flipping vehicles every couple of years. They might keep them for a longer period of time. And so all they care about is their total cost into the vehicle. And so when they see these huge discounts on vehicles, then it's something that's definitely appealing. An example that I'll give, just to give you guys an idea of how big some of these discounts are, is on the Jeep Gladiator. I just filmed one for the main channel to kind of show this. Jeep is giving, after dealer discount, 25% off of MSRP on a 23 Gladiator. So the Gladiator I reviewed today was a Mojave. stickered for 65 grand. The sale price would be closer to about $48,000. So it takes that vehicle from being something that is similar in price to like some nice full-size pickup trucks, super decked out mid-size pickup trucks, and the Gladiator is a mid-size pickup truck, and it brings it down into the price range of a basic work truck if you're looking at a full-size pickup truck, or more of the kind of like not quite entry level, but closer to entry level with some of the other mid-size pickup trucks. So it makes it a lot more appealing to a buyer. And so these big discounts, I think, are driving a lot of traffic right now. But what I will say is I do think it's a little bit of a, robbing Peter to pay Paul type situation. And what I mean by that is these people are going to be absolutely buried, right? Whenever you have huge discounts, it doesn't matter what vehicle it is. Whenever you have a huge discount, that means that the used versions of those vehicles are going to go down in value. So the trade-in value that these people will have if they plan on trading in a few years is not going to be all that great. So these people, are probably not going to be people in the car market in the next couple of years. So that is something that could affect us down the road. And then the other part of it is what dealers have been telling me anecdotally is a lot of the people taking these huge, and this isn't just Jeep, this is across the board with these vehicles that have huge discounts, have a ton of negative equity, right? Because people bought at the peak of the market with a newer used car, and now values are a lot lower. And so they are very upside down. And so they're trading their upside down loans into these new vehicles. And so it's like they're taking negative equity and putting it into something that is already going to depreciate at a quicker rate because it's already a year or two old at this point, and it has heavy discounts on it. So yeah, these people are basically digging themselves 6 feet under, which again, if they plan on keeping this vehicle for the entire duration of the loan and all that, it should be fine for them. But that's the thing that I see currently influencing the market more than anything else. I don't see the new vehicles that are coming out really influencing anything because there are a few people buying those, but they're just too dang expensive. And so the vehicles on the new car market that people are buying are these old model year vehicles with huge discounts. And a lot of the people buying right now are people that have a ton of negative equity. And so that's what's driving the car market right now. Once this dries up, and it eventually will because we'll run out of 2023s, manufacturers are going to have to start discounting 24s or something to continue to drive this. And so we're kind of back into a car market on the new side of things where discounts are driving the market more than what the cars are that are being released, again, outside of a few select models. Let me know what you think about this whole situation. Let me know what you think is going to happen to the market moving forward. But I think we're going to continue to see more advertising from manufacturers, more discounts across the board, and it's, even though not as big as prior to the pandemic, the car market's starting to get a little bit bigger again. I'll see you.